Ladies, welcome to first ever soul-stirring episode of Weekly Coffee Cup with Maddie. Grab your favorite brew because today we're diving deep into the Word to uncover the true beauty and glory that's found in Christ. By the way, wherever you are listening, we are available on YouTube and Spotify every Saturdays at 10 p.m. Philippine Standard Time. We are not airing live because, as you can see, all of our episodes are pre-recorded due to busy schedules. But during the telecast, just in case you have questions or clarifications or even prayer requests, you can always drop your comments on YouTube, and I'll try to answer that by next week based on the truths of the Bible. Alright. Hey there, dear sisters in faith. It's Maddie once again. I want to say hello to those who are and will be listening. I've been pondering on sharing to you a very powerful message that the Lord gave me like a few months ago, and I feel like this would be a perfect message for our first episode. By the way, on the next weeks, I would like to share with you the importance of having a covenant with the Lord. But for now, I want to share this message from Exodus chapter 28. In this chapter, the whole chapter, the Lord is actually instructing Moses to craft a special garment for the consecration of Aaron and his sons. And two words caught my attention: glory and beauty. If you read the whole chapter, I think you can read that in verse 2 and then verse 40. And these two words, glory and beauty, is something that really caught my attention. These words resonates with all of us, don't they? We often seek for power, attention, and praise from the world, and it's kind of easy to fall into the trap of pride. But here's the divine truth. There's nothing inherently good or beautiful in our flesh. We can read that in Romans chapter 7. Here we will all realize that we're all flawed, all wretched, and we've all sinned. Yet, here's the good thing. God desires His creation to reflect His glory and beauty every day. So, just as Moses clothed Aaron in the holy garment of priesthood, Christ clothes us in His righteousness as well. In 2 Corinthians chapter 5 verse 21, we will read, God made Him, that is Christ, who had no sin, to be sin for us, that in Him we might become the righteousness of God. In the new covenant, it's not just a cover-up, just like the old covenant, because it's now a transformation. We're no longer prisoners of our shame and sin, but we're now set free. In fact, in John chapter 8, it says there, whom the Son sets free is free indeed. So, here we can notice the two words, or two phrases, new covenant and old covenant. That's why in the next few weeks, we need to distinguish between these two. What's the difference of new covenant and old covenant, and how this will really affect our salvation, our faith, and our Christian living. But now, going back to our topic, how do we really walk in this righteousness daily? How can we walk in this righteousness daily? That's a good question. Well, it's actually a journey of faith. Denying our fleshly desires to follow Christ, just as He suffered in His flesh, so must we. It's a cost, but it's also our path to righteousness. Remember how Apostle Paul shared in Galatians chapter 2 verse 20, for it is no longer I who lives, but Christ lives in me. The life I now live in the body, I live by faith through the Son of God who loves me and gave Himself for me. And also remember, in 2 Samuel, David also, when he is about to buy a portion of land from Arona, he said, I will never offer something to God that costs me nothing. So there must be something that will cause us in this walk of faith. And what is the cause? It must be our life. As what Apostle Paul said, it is no longer I that lives, but now it must be Christ. So you see, earthly pleasures, worldly validation, and temporary beauty, they're all fleeting. They can compare to the joy found in Christ. Even in simplicity, even in suffering, true and lasting joy can only be discovered in Him. You can find proof for this in the life of Apostle Paul, as you read the whole book of Philippians. It's just 4 chapters, by the way, but trust me, you will learn how to be contented in life, even in lack or in excesses, in suffering or in joy. Because the truth is, as Apostle Paul mentioned, we can do all things through Christ, provided that all earthly pleasure we count it. All the earthly pleasure that we count as everything, we will now count it all as rubbish for the sake of gaining Christ. That's the whole context of Philippians. That is in Philippians chapter 3, by the way. So if we will read the whole book of Philippians, it is all about contentment in Christ. That's the point of the whole chapter, because there Paul experienced every challenges and even every blessing that this life calls a blessing. But Paul realized that those things, it doesn't matter. Whatever experience, it doesn't matter. Whatever challenges, whatever richness, it doesn't matter for the sake of gaining Christ. Sisters, let this truth transform your mindset from daily wardrobe choices to your relationship choices and even dreams choices. Remember what Jesus said in Matthew chapter 6, verse 33, "Seek first His kingdom and His righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well." So we have to seek God first before we seek all these earthly richness or earthly blessings that we call a blessing. We have to seek God first in order for us to know what is really God's intention for our life is. We have to know the heart of God first before we seek all these things. Life here is short, but eternity awaits. The question is, which eternity will you choose? Life or condemnation? So the next time you fret about your appearance or earthly desires, remember that what's seen is temporary, but what's unseen is eternal. Your beauty should not come from outward adornment such as elaborate hairstyles and the wearing of gold jewelry or fine clothes. Rather, it should be that of your inner self, the unfading beauty of a gentle and quiet spirit, which is of great worth in God's sight. 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 3 to 4. Now, thank you for joining us on this thought-provoking episode of Weekly Coffee Cup with Maddie. I hope you learned something that can transform your life daily. And I pray that we keep seeking His righteousness, and we'll catch you next time again. So stay blessed, sisters. And as we end, I want us to listen to this song, Sa Piling Mo. Let me just play this one.
Halika